So the next one we're going to talk about before we go into more of the Devastator pieces is we were shown a while back that we were going to be getting another Optimus Prime, and people were kind of speculating what Optimus Prime that was going to be for Studio Series. And I think it's pretty obvious why we're getting this Prime and what his purpose is I think we got another Studio Series Optimus Prime that was re-engineered to work with a Jetfire. To do the Jet Optimus Prime combination and stuff. It hasn't been confirmed or shown here, but it's pretty clear that that's the whole point of this. Even though the Optimus Prime that's being shown here is more of a Voyager, I think that while the Jetfire is a leader class, I think that they're probably going to work something out here where they still kind of combine together, because the original Jetfire leader class toy, the way it combined was it kind of became like a straitjacket for Optimus Prime. It wrapped around him and stuff, where if you looked at the movie, he combined by becoming a parts former and just became a bunch of parts that attached to him. So we don't have any images right now of how the combined mode looked like, but I'll tell you one thing, looking at this leader class one, man, does he look simplistic. Like, this is I'm surprised that this is a leader class toy, because it's like it clearly a lot of stuff is folded here, and I'm pretty sure if we could see the underside of that SR-21 Blackbird, like probably the entire alt mode robot mode is hanging on the other side of that.
You can kind of see his hands a little bit.
Yeah.
Hanging off the bottom there.
I think that if he does combine, because even though this is a leader class, and I think the only reason why this is a leader class is because of the alt mode. I think because the alt mode is going to be very long and large, but I think the robot mode is going to be a lot more compact and shorter. I think that it's just going to break apart and attach to the Voyager here, this new Voyager that's going to obviously be shipping with it, and that's what's going to lead to the combined mode to make Jet Prime or Jetwing Prime or whatever you want to call it. And the last one, and this is the one I'm actually excited about and I've been talking about for a while, is we're finally, after all these years, getting a decent Bonecrusher toy. Bonecrusher for years, I've always been perplexed by it, how, this guy was like featured in all the trailers and he was such a big predominant thing for the marketing for this movie, and he just got like this Voyager toy that was totally out of scale with everything, and even the Voyager toy itself didn't really look too much like the character model. Now, granted, again, the toys were made way before the movie was even done in CG, so a lot of aesthetic changes were done along the way, and I remember there's been interviews with Aaron Archer and Michael Bay in the past where a lot of the toys were just these based on these early sketch designs. So they don't.
Yeah, they weren't done hand in hand, which is a little bit weird.
So when they were doing the CG, obviously there was tweaks done along the way, and ultimately in the end, the final product didn't match, what was on the screen. So Bonecrusher was an example of that, where he had like these extending arm gimmick and stuff, and he had these weird hands, and just wasn't a good looking toy. And then they were like, well, we'll do another Bonecrusher toy. And it was a legend scale. And, well, there's only so much you could do with that price point. And that was it for this poor character. He really didn't get anything else in terms of transforming figures that really, obviously there's merchandise-related stuff. But in terms of transforming figures, there wasn't anything that really did this character justice, let alone, again, because it was a deluxe. It's like, man, he's just out of scale with every toy. So like this guy's supposed to be this big bruiser that like teared a bus in half, and now he's a deluxe toy. You can't even pose him with your other figures. So now they're doing properly. I used to suggest, I was like, man, they should have just made that the leader class, or a Voyager, instead of like, just Blackout and some of the others. But, they obviously had only so many slots they could do for Voyagers and, for case assortments. And I guess they felt that Blackout was more important. And I think probably they made the right call in the end. But still, it was kind of sad that we didn't get a Bonecrusher, and it took like more than 10 years until we finally get a good one. Imagine if like back then they're like, yeah, see this Bonecrusher character? Yeah, you're going to have to wait 11 years until you get a good one. And it's sad when you think about it, but it's true. And now we have a Voyager, Studio Series number 33, Voyager Bonecrusher. And not much that could be said other than it finally looks how he looks on the movie. It looks great, so that's going to be a pickup from me, because it's a movie toy that just really hasn't been done justice. And then we have the other two I talked about, the Optimus Prime. You know, it looks like movie 1 Optimus Prime, movie 2 Optimus Prime, but pretty much I feel this exists just to combine with the Jetfire, which is pretty bare bones. Not much else I could say. It's Studio Series stuff of pre-existing toys, pre-existing characters that really have, you know, we knew this was coming, so there's no like big shock or anything to discuss. Just happy about that Bonecrusher, and I think Jetfire is going to be a parts former for Optimus, probably to combine
for this particular Optimus. You mean?
Even though there's a scale difference, one is a Voyager, one is a leader class, but I just think that he's going to be in robot mode, very Voyager sized, and it's just going to work out in the end.